Do I miss the freedom of entrepreneurship? In my early 20s, I was an entrepreneur, and I was an entrepreneur until I was about 31 years old. I had an electronics company, and then I had a software development startup. I learned a lot during that experience, and I have a lot of people ask me now that I'm in corporate, now that I'm working for Amazon, if I miss entrepreneurship. And I think a lot of people get into corporate America and in their early 20s, and they dream about the entrepreneurial journey and how to escape corporate. Hopefully this can benefit you if you're kind of struggling with this whole idea of like, do I jump into entrepreneurship or do I jump into corporate? That's it. Enjoy.
First of all, I know you do have an entrepreneurial background, and
Yeah.
I do want to know how you manage that DNA you have in you, and then product management. Do you ever feel that you miss that freedom, or how's it does that leverage that?
Yeah. So I think and when you say miss the freedom, what do you mean by that? Like
Well,
on the entrepreneurial side?
yeah, because I
Okay.
am, or I was, or I am, I don't know,
Yeah.
entrepreneur as well. So,
Okay.
you kind of get to decide wherever you want to do, wherever you have that vision, it's up to
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
So, being a PM, I mean, you kind of do, but the big vision, you don't. So, do you miss that, or do you?
Um, yeah, okay, so I think there's like two forms of entrepreneurship that I've found. One is strictly for the money with the false
Mhm.
assumption that you'll find freedom
Okay.
through entrepreneurship. And I don't believe that you actually find freedom in entrepreneurship. There's this kind of mythical unicorn of freedom that everybody gets presented with because we see these examples of, Mark Zuckerberg or, individuals who have made exits from companies and now they're living large and what have you. But really,
Mhm.
that's not the reality, right? The reality for most people is the average entrepreneur is making $60,000 a year, right? They're working 100 hours a week. And if you think about the time and the amount of money that they're actually making, it's not actually worth it for a large majority of people to go through the pain and struggle because there's no guarantee that there's going to be an exit, right? Like if you're planning on being the 1% who make the exit, it's likely not going to happen, right? And if you go into entrepreneurship with this mental model of I'm going to be rich, I'm going to have freedom, it's not going to happen. You're going into it for the wrong reasons. And so what I've found is that if you want to go into entrepreneurship, now that I've like had this journey of corporate America after entrepreneurship, I'm very thankful for corporate America in a lot of ways because corporate America has given me the freedom that I never had in entrepreneurship, which is counterintuitive for a lot of people because we get sold the opposite, right?
Yeah.
We're anti-corporate America. We are anti 9 to 5. We're anti the man, right? We want to be our own boss, but that presents itself with plenty of challenges. And so what I would say is that I don't miss it. I actually have far more income and freedom and autonomy to make decisions without consequence in
Okay.
the corporate world than I did as an entrepreneur because everything as an entrepreneur has consequence. I make the wrong decision and I am going to fail and all of my employees are going to lose their jobs this month because I can't afford to feed them, right? Like that's a terrifying perspective to have when you're dealing with it. And it causes a great deal of stress. Whereas in corporate America, I pull a golden paycheck off of a tree. Now, I mentioned two forms of entrepreneurship, right? Like one is the just for the money, just for the freedom, I'll do anything to get rich type of deal so I can have the freedom. The other side of it is just the conscious recognition that this is going to be a massive struggle, harder than I've ever experienced before. So it
Hmm.
has to be worth it. And it has to not necessarily be about the money. Like I'm starting this thing because I'm scratching my own itch. I have a passion about this area and it's something that I love. I love it, right? And if you do that and it's not about the money, you're just doing it for the meaning and the fulfillment, then entrepreneurship is going to be the best blessing you've ever had because you recognize that I'm not in it for the money, but eventually the money will come